Hello everyone! Full disclosure, I planned this whole video in September last year, and then I released the first part of it in November last year, and since then I haven't really been much into Attack on Titan. I haven't read the manga since chapter 134, I know, I'll get to it, but I have in good authority that all those theories that I wrote back in September, and there's some are mine, some are from other sources that I have, most of them still stand. So here we go, as always, manga spoilers, and get ready for it. Ymir is Historia's and Eren's child from the future, trapped in the past. Finally, right? I got to the famous theory everyone loves so much. And I trolled your shipping hearts giving you Mikasa and Armin before I even mentioned Historia and Eren. Okay, but this is not the famous theory though. The famous theory is that the baby would be Ymir reincarnated, or some type of Ymir reincarnation. Now let's go one step further again. Ymir's presence in 122 feels misplaced. She's an outsider, she is not shown with any family or anyone at all. No one seems to care or support her. I'm sorry for going to that sad place again, and perhaps making you realize all that just now. But she was a little girl in this village and everyone just turned against her. Not one responsible adult stepped in and stopped those horrible men hunting her. I mean, someone could have at least helped her hide somewhere or even escape. She was on her own with no family, no one there for her, and it's all really sad. And I guess that panel with the happy couple at the beginning shows how broken and desperate for a family she is. Or maybe it's just to show her recognizing the resemblance to her parents. This theory gets a little complicated because it involves time travel.
Okay, Doctor, explain what is happening, please.
Mel's short for...
Melody.
Yeah, I named my daughter after her.
You named your daughter after your daughter.
It took me years to find you two. I'm so glad I did.
The biggest plus in this theory is the first chapter title of Attack on Titan, which is To You in 2000 Years, and her backstory chapter being called From You 2000 Years Ago, which signs her showing Eren her memories from her life. The second plus here is how Historia at this point in the manga was missing for quite a while, and chapter 122 starts with a flashback to her childhood, one that we've seen before actually. Not to mention multiple comparisons in similar panels of Ymir and Historia. We know we're getting another time jump in the series, most likely another 3-4 years ahead. That'll be when Eren is close to his natural death. At this point, young Ymir would be around 3 or 4 years old as well. Her story in 122 is very reminiscent of Alice in Wonderland, even her physical appearance. Sorry, I even forgot to mention how much she looks like Eren in Historia as well. It makes sense. Let's say she saw that tree and went there because it was familiar. Let's say she saw that rabbit hole before because that's where she came from. Maybe when she was 4 she fell in that hole and that was the portal she came through into the past. Again, this video is called Crazy Theories, you know? Don't forget that. Also, to tie into the Mikasa and Armin already have a child theory, those two couples would definitely have clashing views on how to raise a child and about the world their children would be raised into, and more importantly, their ideals for what a better world to their children should be like. Honestly, I'm just looking for better motivations for the rumbling here, and protecting the little girl from a horrible world by destroying it seems very Eren and Historia to me. The irony here it would be that the baby Ymir would be the root of the problem, so that's kinda fun. Ymir descendancy never went further than Maria, Rose, and Sina. So, normal day, spear is thrown, the queen is dead. Now we get to the famous section from the tapestry in season 2 ending. Can you imagine, by the way, all those years ago Isayama arriving at Wit Studio and suggesting all this? So, add 3 kids eating a corpse. Make it very medieval, okay? Don't worry about it, I'll explain it at some point. So after that, there are the 9 titans, as they should be, or as we know them. But it's never shown how they came to be. I guess you could conclude that the 3 girls had 3 children each, and that's where the 9 titans come from. But with that logic, why their power stopped there? Why aren't their descendants all titan shifters as well? We know titan shifters earn their power by eating other shifters. So my theory here, and yes, this theory is mine, there were 9 powerful families. Well, 8 plus the Freds. I'm considering here King Freds probably had other children, and I'm sure that old man definitely had other wives and children beside the girls. So 9 powerful families performed the same ritual Fritz ordered the girls to perform with Ymir. So 3 people each, this time 8 the girls. Basically 3-8 Maria, 3-8 Rose, and 3-8 Sina. And that's how the power was passed down. And there's where Ymir's actual bloodline ends. No more actual descendants, just Eldians eating those shifters and keeping up with that ritual over all those hundreds of years. And I totally did not make up this theory just to fit with my Ymir's the baby from the future theory one. I totally did. So it wouldn't, get complicated with some crazy paradox if Ymir comes back to the past. Also means everyone in Attack on Titan would be descendants of her, like blood descendants, and then including Historia and Eren. So it would be like her parents are her descendants. So that's a paradox, and maybe my theory came from that. Bonus part for this theory: how pure titans were made and how to define someone as an Eldian. Okay, my guess here is that Eldians, as in the people who can turn into titans when apply the spinal fluid, starting showing up from the children of titan shifters over the years. I don't think the founder had some ability of altering people's DNAs to become pure titans. Otherwise, they could do that to any human. I think that pure titans' predisposition comes from Eldians throughout the years developing this DNA variation. Again, I'm talking here of the people from the Eldian Empire who were descendants of the Titan Shifters, which is not all of the Eldians, since I'm considering here the 9 Titans coming only for the 9 families out of that village initially. Over time, I guess the Eldians, as they are known now, will become only those descendants with this DNA variation. Also, there's the brief mention of Eldians experimenting with other ethnicities to see which other races this pure Titan ability could be passed down to, which is horrible and gross, and one of the many reasons the Eldian Empire is hated so much. We know the Orientals are not in that list, but I'll get to Mikasa in a second. Okay, let's go back to Ackermans first.